There it goes. All right, you guys, I have Heather on live, but I wanted to be able to record this so that you guys could all just hear some of the NLC takeaways. Maybe you don't know what NLC is. Maybe you are just hearing about it for the first time, but basically NLC is the National Leadership Conference. It's something that you can only earn one time as a coach. Like you get one shot, you go or you don't go, you never get another invitation. And you earn this invitation to NLC by being a 1-star diamond coach. So the year that you hit 1-star diamond, so that should be your goal for this year at a minimum, to hit 1-star diamond. If you hit it this year, then in January of 2023, you'll get an invitation to NLC wherever it may be. I don't know if it's always in Vegas, but that's where it has been the last 2 years. So I actually earned my invitation. I hit 1-star in 2020. So I earned an invitation in 2021, but it had to go virtual because of COVID, right? So they spoiled the heck out of us. They sent us these big, huge care packages. That banner on the wall is part of it. I got a yoga mat and I got weights. I got like so much stuff. They sent this big, huge care package saying congratulations. And then we had some virtual training sessions. But so often you hear that NLC is like the catalyst, the just catapult your business like rapid speed forward. And I was a little bit sad because I didn't feel that momentum. I know that 2021 was like a ridiculously hard year in the coaching world, like across the board. But I kind of felt like I missed out on something because I didn't attend this event and I was bummed that you get one shot. So I thought I was done. Well, at the end of 2021 in like October, they announced that anybody that was in the 2021 class for NLC got an opportunity to re-earn an invitation to attend the 2022 class. So we had some like higher qualifications. We had to hit SC10. We had to hold 1-star for 6 weeks in November and December. Like we had some big qualifications to hit, but I needed to make that happen. So I did everything in my power to make sure I got that invitation, to make sure I could get to Las Vegas to this event in person. And I'm really, really fortunate that my husband is super supportive and was like, I'll go with you. Like, let's go, let's do this. So we did. We went to Vegas. We were there for 4 days. Beachbody, I actually, there's a component of the qualification period when you qualify as a 1-star. If you have enough leadership points, which is something we've been working on as a team to really understand this year on that road to elite. So if you have enough leadership points, and I think it's 25, they cover your hotel stay, right? So we got our hotel stay at the Bellagio covered. They upgraded everybody to these like premier rooms. They were beautiful. And you're like right there in it all. So we got there, the event started on Friday night. We checked in, we got obviously swag, we got bags and shirts and like Shaco and like a weekender kit and stickers and pens. We got this cute little notebook that says Team Beachbody, like all kinds of swag just for checking in. And then we had our first like opening session. And basically there's a couple of general sessions where some top coaches in the network come in. We got to hear from Danielle Natoni and Christina Delgado, who are 2 of my like North Stars. I think they're fantastic human beings. We also got to hear from a coach who was at NLC like just a year before and was now a 6-star diamond coach. So you can see how that like can just jump in 1 year. So I'm not a good big note taker, you guys. I'm terrible at it. I just like put it in my head and I just get to work. But I did try to slow down a little bit and take some notes. So one of the things Carl Deichler came out and told us that we all know the 4 vital behaviors, right? Like we all live and breathe them every single day. But he said like, shocker, there's actually 5 vital behaviors. And I was like, interesting, right? So we all know be proof of the product, connect, invite, follow up, get people results, do your personal development. And the 5th one is duplication. So that's like take all of the 4 vital behaviors and teach somebody how to do the 4 vital behaviors. And it's like, you know, that's a big component that I think is a big miss in building like a deep, wide organization, right? It has to span deeper than just you. Like you can do the vital behaviors. And if you're hitting Success Club, like that's incredible, but your business is only going to be so big. It's when you can take those 4 vital behaviors and turn around and teach somebody else to be independent in those 4 vital behaviors, that magic can really, really happen. So he even gave us the definition of duplication and said duplication is when you empower another coach to work independently. And for me, that was like a big like eye opener, because I consider myself like a fairly controlling person, and I like to be able to control everything, but you really do have to be in a way to delegate the information and allow your coaches to run independently when they're comfortable. That doesn't mean on day 1 you have to run off and run your own groups, but it means that you need to kind of push your coaches to a level of uncomfortableness to make them independent, to make them want to be independent, coddle them as long as they need, and then kick them out of the nest and let them run independently. So I thought that was really, really cool. He said that there are 3 ways to do the duplication and make that happen. And it's like, number 1, have systems in place so your team knows what the systems are. And I think that we're pretty good at that. We put out a team calendar at the beginning of every month to say, here's what we're inviting to, here's when our new coach mentorships are. We all have that welcome email that you got when you joined in Fit Nation family. So you can take that, you can send it to your new people, and add them into our ongoing groups. I think that we're getting there. We obviously can improve and put more systems in place, especially around new coach mentorships and things like that. As we get bigger and better and learn, obviously we can continue to improve in that space. Accountability and allocating your time, knowing that in this phase of our business, where every single person on this team who's listening to this call, we should be spending 80% of our time on our own business and 20% of our time on our team, right? And that can be really, really kind of a gut check, especially when you first get somebody who's interested in working the business with you. All you want to do is turn around and run with them and help them, because it fires you up. But you can't forget about that 80% that you should be spending on your own business, hitting Success Club, getting your own results, focusing on inviting and connecting. That stuff still really, really, really matters at this point, because one person isn't going to get you to your goals. 2 people are not going to get you to your goals, right? You have to continue to add and grow and bring new people in to keep that energy flowing, and then spend 20% of your time with your, existing coaches who are wanting to work the business. The next, Keyshawn Graves came out and she talked, and if you've ever listened to a National Wake Up Call where she's on there, she's straight fire, and she's the cutest thing in the whole wide world. And she talked about taking a leap of faith, and she took leap and broke it down into what's it called when one letter, where you split it apart, whatever that word is. And she said, so the L in leap is lead from the front, be the example, right? The speed of leader, speed of the pack. E is easy systems to duplicate. Again, you start to hear these repetitive themes throughout the whole weekend. A, align your goals. And that's a really, really big one. Make sure your team knows what your goals are and why they are important. So one of the things that I wrote down for me as they're talking this stuff is our goal as a team is to hit 5-star elite this year. My personal goal is for every single coach on this team, every single person who listens to this call, to have their biggest year in coaching yet. And by doing that, I think that if you guys each set a goal to have your biggest year, then 5-star elite just becomes a byproduct of that, right? It's not even the main focus. It doesn't have to be the main goal. If each one of us just shoots to have our biggest and best year, then the whole team rises without even making that the focus or the effort. And I think that that's really exciting and something that makes it really, really fun to push for as a whole team. And then the P in leap is to push through the hard times, because you know what? They exist in every single one of our businesses. If you haven't hit the pavement yet and kind of crashed and burned, just know it's coming. This business is not all highs, but it's not all lows, but you have to experience those lows to really, really appreciate the highs. And honestly, this business, there would be so many more successful coaches if there weren't any lows, right? If it was all highs and everybody was fantastic and you never hit a bump in the road, there would be millions of Millionaire Club members, right? It's when you hit those lows that separates the long-term coaches from the short-term coaches. You can either decide at that point, like, this is too hard, I give up, and you quit, like many of them do. Or you say, you know what, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to pivot and I'm going to implement something to get past this. And you move on to the top of the company. And that's why, there's only X number of coaches in the top 1% of the company. That's why, like, the business is going to get hard at some point in this. It's going to be hard. And you get to decide at that point, either you want to give up and take the easy road and quit, or take the hard road and get so much success and life-changing things out of it. Because once you get past that, that's when the magic really, really happens. A quote that they gave was, much of your downline success falls on your ability to lead. Gut check, right? Like, it is your job as a coach to be the example and give your coaches everything they need so that they can be successful in this business. And you really want your coaches to be able to then duplicate that. So Carl was saying, like, if you look in your downline, you should be looking at like levels 1, 3, 5. Like, you're teaching your coaches, but are they teaching their coaches who can teach their coaches, right? Are they teaching their coaches who can teach their coaches? Like, how deep can you go with the systems that you're implementing? Because it's all trickling down from you, right? Like, which is pretty crazy to think. So then obviously we all talked about our goals and our personal goals. And I wrote down some dates for like my personal things that I need to happen. So leadership is October 13th through the 16th. And in order to qualify for leadership, that's a 5-star and above event, which means, like, the dates are just insane, but you have to hit it by July in order to qualify for that event in October. So the pressure's on for me to make things happen. And I can't rely on, individuals to do that for me. Like, it's my business. I have to take control and I have to decide that I want to make that happen. And I've got to get to work. So I've got to have big SC numbers. I've got to have, big things in my own personal business if I want to make that goal happen. We got to draw out volume. Then a couple of things that I will share in our team page as soon as I kind of tweak them a lot. But Christina Delgado gave us a new coach checklist that she uses and sends her new coaches. And it basically says, like, go do this, check, go do this, check, like, store my number and text me, check. Like, and then she said, like, when I get that text from them, then I know they're like working through the list and I know they want to be a working coach and I know they want to do this. And when somebody comes to you and says, like, I want to be a coach in this business, then your response should be, then do I have your permission to push you? And if they say yes, then you get to help them level up, right? You get to tell them, hey, I didn't see a post on social media today. Like, where are you? Are you showing up? Have you been inviting? Like, you get to hold them accountable. So asking your coaches, like, who say they want to coach, like, do I have your permission to hold you accountable then? And if they really want to work this business, the answer is going to be yes. And that's when you really get to go. So just being open with your coaches and knowing who wants to work the business, who doesn't want to work the business, who's here just for fun, because we have lots of those too, and that's okay. Good night, hon. I love you. Huh? You're tired? Okay, go get in bed, huh? Go get in bed. Daddy, put you to bed. All right, good night.
I know.
And then the last thing was Kevin Shaw came on and he called a volunteer up to the stage and he handed her a Nerf gun and he put her on a spot of the stage and he said, shoot at that target. And she shot at the target and she fell short. And then he said, okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to aim a little bit higher, right up here. And she shot the gun and she hit the target. And it was like a really, really good way to look at our business, that when you send somebody off on their own and expect them just to do it, they're probably going to fall short of their goals. But if you can guide them and have them aim just a little bit higher than what they were originally shooting for, that they can hit the mark and they can make it happen. They just need you to guide them and a little bit higher goals. And I was like, that was a really, really like moving piece of the presentation. I thought that was a really, really good analogy for our business, and just really made me want to shoot higher with you guys, aim higher with you guys, and be here as a mentor in whatever capacity it is that you need, right? I know some of you want to go full-time in this business, and I want to help you do that. And some of you want to pay for your Shakeology, and I want to help you do that. And some of you just want to attend retreats and that's it. Like, I want to help you do that. Whatever it is that you want to do, but you have to like be willing to communicate with me so I know at what level to push you guys. And I think that is, something the beauty of what we have going with the level 1, 2, and 3 groups is that basically if you do the work to get in the group, then that tells me that's the level of commitment you need from me. And the same thing, like if you want to get into the next level group, then it's easy for you to say, hey, Katie, can we meet? Like, I want to get into level whatever group, like, help me, what can I do to get there? And I will be there. Like, I would never, ever say no. I would never turn down the opportunity to talk one-on-one with anyone on this call. So if you guys have questions about NLC, just a couple of like side notes. So we did get like a breakfast buffet one morning that was, and everything that they fed us was like fixate counted out, right? Like they told us exactly how many containers everything was. The welcome reception, they had all these like hors d'oeuvre bars. So we had like a street taco bar and a salad bar, and they walked around with little mini cheeseburgers and little mini chicken sandwiches. We got like drinks and champagne, and like they had some Autumn's like fancy cocktails that you could have. And then the next day we had the breakfast buffet that was set out with like just everything you could imagine, and these gluten-free muffins that were to die for. And then we got the workout with the trainers. So some people picked Autumn, some people picked Jennifer Jacobs, and those were incredible. And then after that, they had like a Shakeology bar where they were mixing up Shako like in these cute little recipes. So you got to just go grab your shake that was already blended and ready for you. We had box lunches, which was like, that was also incredible, like quinoa salad and chicken sandwiches. And then there was a big dinner buffet where I sat next to Johnny On, who is the Diamond corporate mentor. So he just sat at our table and hung out with us. And we got to pick his brain a little bit, which was really, really fun, and had this like really fancy dinner. And then it ended with what they call game night, which was just pure chaos. They played like Family Feud and like a sing off and a dance off and all these games, like all these trivia games. And then every once in a while, the sirens would blow and they would just throw swag into the audience, and you just got to catch like tons of stuff. So I ended up with a tank top, a t-shirt, a bag. I don't even know, like just so much stuff that they were just chucking into the audience like crazy. They were giving away like big, huge picnic baskets, cash, golden tickets, which were floor seats to Summit. You could go sit right on the floor. Yeah, just really, really, really cool. And that's kind of how the whole event ended. So get it on your vision board, be at NLC, like you won't want to miss it. And if you get an invitation, like start to think about it right now. Like, all right, I'm going to hit 1 star this year. I'm going to get an invitation in January 2023. Like, think that now and kind of plan that as you're like thinking ahead of dates and what could happen and things like that. I just want you guys to be prepared for it, because like I didn't get my invitation until November or December. I think it was December. I didn't get my invitation till December. It might have even been January. Like it was really last minute but I knew that I was working for this event, right? Like I knew that this event was coming. I knew the dates of it. You guys will have the dates for the next one very, very soon. So like pencil it in and plan to be there. Just start to think about that, start looking at airfare, whatever it is that you need to get there so that you don't have an excuse to not go when it comes. Like, luckily for me, I have a daughter whose birthday's in January. Her birthday's actually Friday. So it's super, super close, right? But I was still like looking at the dates, and we didn't plan her birthday party for this weekend. We're going to plan it for the weekend after her birthday because I didn't want to miss this event. So I want you guys just to start thinking about it now, so that you have those dates penciled in so that you can go if you get that invitation and you can make it happen. You also can room with other coaches. So I didn't know anybody. There was nobody from like Nicole's team that was going. So I got in a group with like the TFTF people, and there were 5 of us from Jamie's downline, wherever in Jamie's downline. And we made a message pod, and we like chatted before we went, and like there was 5 of us. So I was taking my husband. So the other 2 like shared a room so that they didn't have to be alone. And then every time we went to an event, we like text each other and said like, all right, let's meet up. So I didn't have to be like alone in that event, even though I didn't actually know these girls, right? Like I didn't know them before that. But it's fun, the relationships that you can build with people that are in the same place in the business you are. So just start thinking about that. And if you don't want to take your spouse, like I was a minority by taking my husband, like don't feel like you have to do that. We just took the opportunity to like spend the weekend together, like adult time. But you don't have to, because we can definitely get you in a pod with other people who are going, and you can share a room with them and you can do things with them. So don't feel like you have to take your significant other, because most people didn't. Like that was not normal. So all right, I will stop the recording. You guys message me or, comment on this post if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer any of them. So